Welcome back to the channel, guys. Goji Boy here, and today I am bringing you a review on the SH Monsterarts Space Godzilla and Little Godzilla special color version. Let's get started. Alright, and here we have, to start, Space Godzilla special color out of the package. I picked this guy up back in 2018. We went to New York for Comic-Con, and I had committed myself to finding as many Godzilla Monsterarts that I could between the convention itself, New York Comic Con, or at Image Anime, or just other stores in general. I did come across this guy at Image Anime, going for, I want to say like $270 at that time. And again, I was committed, so I went ahead and picked them up. And this is a gorgeous figure. I mean, he is menacing in every right. The paintwork on him and the sculpt just looks grotesque, as you can see throughout it. And that brings me to my next point, where he's amazing looking, but he is kind of limited, so in movement, I mean. So going from there, I mean, as you can see, this whole chest shoulder area where the crystals are, that's sculpt right there. That's sculpt. That doesn't move whatsoever. So he does have the upper, well, this is gonna be like chest slash stomach at this point, but it does rotate. It is on a big old ball peg, but in regards to the arms, this is as high as they're gonna go right there. These crystals don't move whatsoever. Regardless, the arms do rotate, can go upwards about that much, sideways that much, double jointed elbows, these little hands on the ball pegs as well. Again, paintwork on the nails and the hands throughout is just really nice as well. Got some nice reds bleeding through the crystal right here, as well as those dark reds on the chest going all the way through his stomach and his neck, his head. Speaking of which, he can look up very high. That's a bonus on him. He's limited in movement, but looking upwards and down is not amongst them. He can still execute that. It's just really the shoulders and these arms. He really can't do much with that. So neck and head, they are on those segmented ball joints. His mouth can open very nicely. Nice paintwork on the teeth, little cheek meat right here, these fangs protruding on the sides as well. Very nice paintwork done with the eyes, as well as the crest right here on his head. It just looks so good. He's got it. In regards to his legs, he can kick upwards. He's got his movement backwards. And try to be careful here. He is old. He's got the knees right here on that bend, but I'm trying to be super careful. And he has the floating pieces on the knees, the calves, lower legs, and the ankle rocker. And again, very nice paintwork done on the toenails, so he has all of it. It's just the sculpt. The sculpt itself does hinder him a bit. But again, between the articulation of the legs and what have you, he can execute his stomping around poses, fighting stances, etc. He can do it. It just takes some finesse. Backside, his plates are just beautiful crystals. They are like a pearl type of white with some pinks and purples hitting them towards the bottom. I will say that I find myself struggling at times when posing him. His plates do kind of rub against each other more in comparison to regular Godzilla plates. So that's something to note. I think I had maybe one or two that I had to actually glue back into place. Yeah, this one's, yeah, I just barely even looked at him. This one started moving. So yeah, these are definitely something to keep an eye out. They can become a bother. His tail is done nicely. I want to say it's in line just like the SH Monsterarts, pretty much the standard Heisei Godzillas, but I want to say like the segments. I don't know if it's a matter of the figure being old at this point, but they do move around more freely in a negative way, where they're just like rotating a bit, so they kind of just aren't aligned as much. And I've had instances where the tail itself does pop out a bit too much, and I just don't want to force it, but it can still get the nice S shapes with those segments. And I want to say that it stops right about here. So from this point upwards towards a very beautifully done crystal tail, this is one solid piece that rotates but isn't segmented anymore. So I'm going to point out the very nice paintwork on the bottom as well that goes all the way. But yeah, very nice figure. Just, I think it's a matter of the sculpt not aging too well, but nonetheless, he is super cool. In regards to accessories, he simply comes with 2 electricity effects, some green ones that you plop onto the crystals, and it just makes them come to life a bit more. So pretty cool stuff, but simple. Next we have Little Godzilla. Now this guy is quite small. I'll bring Space Godzilla back into the frame in just a second. His mouth opens, closes, very nice detail work as well, of course. Big cute eyes and that overbite, little ears. His arms can go upwards about that much, rotate, elbow movement, as well as rotation on little ball pegs on his hands. His legs can kick forwards, backwards. They can do somewhat of a splits. Nope, not that much of a splitsies, but they can still move apart. His little knees got double joints on a little floating piece, and ever so slight movement on the feet themselves. I don't want to mess with them too much. And he does have a little segmented area on his chest as well. But again, pretty limited. And his tail just has some movement right here. But yeah, very nice paintwork altogether on this little guy. Just kind of restricted for being so small, but he is cute. I don't think I would have purchased him on his own, if I'm being honest. So the fact that he is a part of the set with Space Godzilla here, I'll just call it a bonus, right? Just a bonus. So there we go. So with that into the mix, I want to go ahead and bring in the frame the birth version of Godzilla. So this is from the Heisei era as well. On the side. Very nice. And of course the sculpt on these guys is totally different. I mean, the chest areas, the crystals, etc. You have some inspiration for the initial mold, but these guys are different. Moving aside, we're gonna go ahead and bring in the Heisei burning version right here. Boom. This guy is the same mold as the one that was just in frame, the Heisei. Standard base goji, if you will. I want to show him against Space Godzilla. Right there. Stack up very nicely with one another. And lastly, we're going to bring in the 2002 Godzilla figure. Now this guy is quite different compared to this goji. They almost have like the same shape in snout and face in comparison to the Heisei Godzilla, so I will point that out. You got that long snout. And there we have that. And with that, let's go ahead and wrap it up. The SH Monsterarts Space Godzilla and Little Godzilla set is definitely something that I wanted for my collection for quite some time. So I picked this up again back in 2018. I paid about $270 at Image Anime, and not really sure what this guy's going for, but I will say that you have options. There is now a third version of the Monsterarts Godzilla, Space Godzilla, that has come out. So you can really just pick and choose between the different paintworks and accessories. I believe the first release came with a beam effect, whereas the newest one does come with a blue version of the little electric accessories, as well as a swappable broken crystal that you can attach to him. So really pick and choose, see which design you like the most, as well as price, of course, and go from there. I still think that this one, paint-wise, is the best out of the three for my collection. In regards to Little Godzilla, honestly, I would not have picked him up on his own, so the fact that he comes in the set is a nice little added bonus, but I wouldn't have gone out to get him, to be fair. So with that, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them down in the comments below. You can check out my Instagram at gojiboy93, where you're going to find photos of this guy as well as other figures in my collection. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thank you all so much. Until next time, peace.